You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Alexander Hernandez takes on Kurt Holobaugh this Saturday at UFC Fight Night back in the Apex. And this is a fun fight at 155 pounds. Alexander Hernandez coming off of a win over Austin Hubbard back in October. He's been kind of 50-50 in his career since bursting onto the scene with a knockout over Beneil Dariush, but lost to Damon Jackson and Bill Algeo before that, beat Jim Miller, was KO'd by Billy Quarantillo, choked out by Renato Moicano, knocks out Mike Breeden. So losing to decent guys, not the best guys in the world, knocked out by Drew Dober, knocked out by Quarantillo, knocked out by Donald Cerrone, so I question the chin on him. But he's very athletic, decent kicks, will switch stances with his strikes, will switch stances mid-combos. Great cardio for the most part, kind of undersized for 155, has bounced between 145 and 155, but he's taking on Kurt Holobaugh, who's an absolute savage. Getting up there in age, he is 38 years old, but hasn't shown any signs of slowing down or is like his chin deteriorating by any means, but just super gritty, powerful, very, very scrappy guy with forward pressure, great boxing, great body shots, throws leg kicks, just goes all levels is where he's throwing. So pushes a high pace, very good jiu-jitsu black belt with a pretty active guard off of his back. He didn't look the best from a jiu-jitsu perspective against Trey Ogden, but again, Trey Ogden's a high-level black belt. He's bigger. I think he's the better wrestler. So no shame in that, but I do think he wins this fight. I think he's just grittier. I think he's going to be the bigger fighter. I think he's going to be pushing forward, putting a lot of pressure on Alex Hernandez, who does fight pretty well on the back foot, honestly, and is a decent counter striker, but I just don't think he's as much of a dog as Kurt Holobaugh is. Holobaugh's just going to be too tough and too strong, too aggressive. I trust his chin more than Alex Hernandez. I trust him to be the more durable fighter, even though he is older. I just think that he'll be kind of pushing the pace and pushing Alex Hernandez around the octagon, shooting takedowns, just kind of bullying him around, landing the bigger shots. I think that he hits harder than Alex Hernandez. I think he can take Alex Hernandez's shots, and I think Hernandez will probably gas before Kurt Holobaugh does. His last fight against Kenan Krzyzewski, he just was pushing a super high pace, getting his takedowns, mixing it with his striking. Beat Austin Hubbard by triangle choke. He is an Ultimate Fighter winner as of recently. I just remember his fight with Jason Knight. He was just beating up Jason Knight on the feet, just battering him. And I have a lot of respect for Jason Knight. I think he's super tough. So to kind of beat him down like that and make him quit says a lot about just his tenacity. And I just don't think Alex Hernandez has that. At times we question his heart, his confidence. That's a big point that they bring up in the fights, is just where's he at mentally, and that's not something that you should even be thinking about when taking on somebody like Kurt Holobaugh, who's coming for your head. So Hernandez went to a split decision with Damon Jackson, Bill Algeo, getting beat by Billy Quarantillo, Thiago Moises. I just think Kurt Holobaugh is kind of overlooked in the UFC just because he's been around for a while. He's 21-8, not the best record, but he's an absolute dog, and you got to get him out of there to beat him. I don't see Alex Hernandez taking him down and just crushing him kind of like Trey Ogden did. I think it's going to stay on the feet, and if Holobaugh wants it to go to the ground, it will. Or he's definitely the better grappler and the better submission artist. But I think that he keeps it on the feet and just kind of beats up Alex Hernandez, who's going to be backing up the entire fight. He's going to be, pushing the pace, sapping his cardio. Kurt Holobaugh, he is 5'11 with a 70-inch reach. Alex Hernandez is 5'9, but he's going to have a 72-inch reach, so he's got pretty long arms. I just don't think that's going to really help him in this fight. He's going to be undersized. He's not as tough as Kurt Holobaugh. Kurt Holobaugh's fought a lot of good guys, got a lot of good wins. Was out of the UFC at one point, came back to win the Ultimate Fighter to get back in, beat a guy like Kenan Krzyzewski, who I think is super tough, really good striker, so the fact that he beat him says a lot. So I'm going to go with Kurt Holobaugh on this one. I just got a feeling that he's going to be able to dig deeper than Alex Hernandez. Alex Hernandez is the favorite, minus 190 to beat Kurt Holobaugh. I think that's crazy. I think that Kurt Holobaugh hits harder, as good of a striker and better grappler. Alex Hernandez does have really good takedown defense. He was defending a lot of the takedowns from Austin Hubbard, but I think Kurt Holobaugh can mix up his strikes with his takedowns to be much more effective than that. So I'm gonna go with Kurt Holobaugh. I think he can get the finish. I think he can make Alex Hernandez quit and gas and get the finish on the ground in the later rounds. So I don't know if he gets a KO or a submission, but I'll lean towards, you know, late round 2, round 3 submission after Holobaugh's just kind of beating him up, gets him to the ground either by knocking him there or taking him down against the fence, and gets the choke. So gonna go with Kurt Holobaugh by submission, round 3. Thanks.